Morning YouTube. A new acquisition. I'll take you off the thing so I can walk you around. Sorry if it gets a bit jumpy. I've been after one of these for quite a while, and it's not exactly what I wanted, but it's a pantograph, and it's a start. And if I'm honest, because I'm daft, this came from an old, a little bit about the story. This came from an old watchmaker that sadly can't do it no more, and he's had to go in a home, and they're selling off his items to help pay for his home, so for his upkeep. So once I knew this, me being me, I knew when I'd got there I'd take it regardless, because he's helping him out. I also gave extra money to help with his cause. I also picked up this disc sander, which is extremely well made in England. Got a fantastic motor on it. Brook Compton. It's the same as the one on my old surface grinder. It's the same as the motor on this as well. It's well made. I mean, I've got the table for this here. This is what he used for the clocks. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to scrape the ways. I've had a little go of it. I was hoping the reduction would be a little bit better, so I could do a 1-to-1 reduction, but it just means I've got to make the templates bigger. And just like with anything, like when I first started this, I'd never touched a milling machine. The first milling machine I ever touched was when I went to visit old Brummy John for the day. I'd never touched a lathe, so you know, I had to learn myself all this. I'd never messed with any machinery at all. So, and it'll be the same learning curve for this. Eventually, what I will replace this with, or I'll keep this probably, I don't know, is a Deckel FP1, I think they're called. That's what I really want, but they're extremely hard to find, and I cannot seem to find one. I've been looking for ages. I've been and looked at 2 or 3 other machines, but this come up right money, and it was for the right reasons, so I just bought it. And I also bought that disc sander, even though I don't need it, because as you know, I got one over there that I built myself. You know, I knew the money would go to help this gentleman. I ain't going to go into too much detail, but he's had quite a rough of it this last year or so, and it really got to me. And I'm going to restore all this, so if I ever do sell it, it will be, you know, really beautiful, back to its former glory. I'll hand scrape all these ways, something else I'm learning, you know, and I'll repaint it all and I'll restore it all. But it's great. There's no playing it. Obviously, being an old watchmaker's, it's fantastic. So, and the reason why I wanted this was to do more intricate inlays and different shaped bolsters to do with my frame lock. I also wanted to show you, we'll get onto these knives in a minute. I've started another blizzard, as you can see. It's not ready yet, but things can go so downhill so quickly. This was some Damascus that a good friend of mine, Dan, sent me, some Rob Thomas Damascus, and the baby come from school running as he always does, happy to see his dad after school. I wasn't paying attention. I touched the lever on the rotary table, and it basically jammed into here, and it ground too much away, and then the blade doesn't close like that in its proper place. It sits way down in there basically, and it's gone past the point of no return basically. So that is a waste of very good Damascus, and the hours I'd put into it has gone. I think I'm going to do a clip out of it, and we'll try and utilise it so it doesn't go to waste. But just to show you how quick, especially with frame locks, things can go wrong. Split seconds, hours and hours, both scales ruined, blank ruined. You know, it just goes to show you how quick things can go wrong. Just a lapse in concentration, a touch of a lever, all that's gone. So I spent all this weekend building this and putting it back right, and now we're back to where we started. So I sacrificed all my weekend so he doesn't have to wait any longer, putting this back right. Now we're back. We've just got to have the lock obviously and everything yet, but okay. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I've just checked the level with a precision dowel pin to make sure that the table's square. As I've done in one of my previous videos, you can put a bit of a rod in there and sweep the table and make sure that it's true to the chuck or the arbor, the spindle. So, and the reason why I'm doing this is for the tapered tang, so that's on 0. Now we'll put the knife on. That's 0. Okay, we'll put it on there, and that's showing that it's 0.7 degree angle. So what we need to do now is turn the table so to account for this angle. .2. Ooh, too much. Okay, we're now back to 0. Right, so that now will account for the discrepancy in the tapered tang. So what I need to do now is, all I'm going to do, I'm going to take it because I need to move the tripod out of the way. I'm going to lock the table down. Okay, just pins that are made to use for this process. So what we need to do now is get the other scale, make sure that they're lined up. I'm not too worried about the front portion, but the back portion, because the tang was so close to the back, I am worried about. So what we'll do, get a clip on here now. We'll do the 8mm hole in a second. Okay. Okay. So now we have the 2 holes. We just need to do the, I'm just going to go and grab another pin. Do the 8mm hole. Yeah. By doing it this way, you know that everything's not going to shift on you, which is important, because I have not been, you know, it has happened where things have moved and you come to line the 2 together and it don't work and it's frustrating. Next investment for me is I'm getting a new drill press, or I'm going to buy another little mill and use that as a drill press, and then I can do small milling operations down here. I like to keep the big ones separate where there's no grinding dust. That's our holes done. And we know now, when we come to put these on, that tapered tang is not going to cause us an absolute nightmare. Which it sometimes, depending on how severe the tang is, it can you know, obviously you're going to have to force it through. You'd have to force the pin through, and if it's wood, what it can do is it can cause it to split, or you won't get it through, and normally it will just wreck the wood. Anyway, whatever you do though, make sure that you put your table back right after. Look, I've got to do the camp and field now. And a couple of others, and I don't want that, you know, get your digital bevel thing. What I tend to use is put the dowel pin back in rather than just rely on that, and make sure everything's square. Right, we're back onto the knife. So what we'll do now is we'll just clean these flaps off so they're nice and flat when we use the contact wheel. Get rid of the lanyard tube. Nice and steady. You ain't got to go mad. Got my rose pins in this one. Let's do this one quick while we're here. Okay. is a warm 120 if anybody's interested. Now if these sides for some reason are not parallel to each other and they're sort of tapered, what you'll have to do is watch what's going on the flats and just gently, or you can do it freehand, and I do that sometimes too. But not very fast with this stuff, so. Wow, it's beautiful. Okay. Nice. A little bit more. Okay, we'll unsand the rest of that to the end. This machine's running very slow on purpose. You don't want to be burning anything or also, if you use too much of an aggressive belt, it tends to wash these sides away first. Right, I'll finish doing this one and you bugger. I think it, I don't know whether this is turned on or not. Christ. Anyway, you can see what I've done. I'm going to go over it again, just gently so you can see what I've done. Okay, this handle is intentionally thin and I wanted it this way, and I'm also going to put him a thing in because I know he's going to be skinning with it a lot, so I'm going to put him a little divot in and stuff. So I'll do an awful lot of hand sanding with this. You've seen me do, that's where I'm at anyway with this. It's only gentle, you know, and I want it more blocky with this because of the skinning purposes. Now when I do the normal missing links, they're a lot rounder and you know, and all that type of good stuff, but because of what he's using this for and I know where he's taking it, you know, I want it a bit more blocky, so when he's skinning it's not going to be twisting and there's a bit more purchase. Anyway, so that's where we're at with that. Okay, I need to get on with the other one and get a mask on. Okay, so when we come to doing a bit of hand sanding, okay, I don't know, I'll probably be in the way here. Sorry, I ain't going to bring you through all this, but hopefully you can see that. I always start with the top, start rounding these portions off. One thing I will say is, you know, I suppose I think people think, oh, he's going to say it's really well balanced. This it's lovely, lovely, light and nimble. I'm pleased that the tang and the holes and it's all gone. As I wanted it to, I suppose. Like I say, I don't want this to be you know, extremely rounded, and there's a reason for that. What I'm trying to do here is expose a little bit of the orange too. For aesthetic reasons. I ain't gonna bore you to tears with all this hand sanding. Okay, so when I get near a completion, if there's anything I think is of note while I'm doing it, I'll bring you back. Okay, last little bit. I thought I'd bring you along because this is like opening up a present. I love this. I mean, it's had no wipe down yet, but wow. I'm pleased with that. 2 seconds. Give it a quick Get some of the dust up. Yep, I'm pleased with that. I mean, it's not had a wipe down or nothing yet, but you can see, I hope. Perfect for skinning. Now compared to, say, I mean, I've not finished this yet. I mean, if you look at the handle different, I mean, on the camp and field, it's, you know, you want a nice big heavy camp knife, big flared pommel. I mean, that's how I'm doing this one anyway, but not always I'll do that, but yeah, okay. And then we got to do the sheath for this, haven't we? Kydex and leather. Okay. I'm pleased.